What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines. Let's play Season 7, Episode number 29. And I dropped in a zoo. I did a little something offline. What I did was kind of the same thing that we did over here with the amusement park. I think I might have even added a couple buildings to the amusement park, namely more shops, because there should be plenty of shopping to get toys for the kids when you're out at the amusement park. And then I built the zoo up over here. Because I figured this would just be kind of busy work, right? All I did was plop down the buildings, did some paths. Same sort of thing. I came out from the main entrance. 90-degree angles. And then sort of filled in everything. Got the antelope and bison enclosures, the lions, the monkey palace, the bird cage, the elephants. What else? Giraffes, reindeer, I don't know. But I think that's got kind of a nice look. And then I threw in a full-size police station and fire department over here. Not that we really need this. We need helicopter coverage over here. So this might be something that we change today. Because today, maybe not the most fun. Let's take a look at our city from way up above. The bulk of Portsmouth is done at this point. I'd still like to come in and do some detail work. And I can kind of hear my own voice. I can tell that I'm kind of congested. I hope I'm not getting sick. But either way, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why? So many trees on the map. So much Kindle. Speaking of helicopter coverage, what I was thinking we could do today, it's not necessarily the most fun, but it's something that we have to do every once in a while, is some maintenance. So we got to kind of look at where things are at. Portsmouth is pretty much complete from a build perspective. We still need to come in and detail and fine-tune and fix some of the edges, and I definitely need to fix the height of some of the seawall. That is not ideal. I think over here it's pretty low for some reason. The water kind of ran up when I rebuilt this over here. Kind of ran up and flooded some of the town. You can see we've had a couple fires that were put out. Eventually that'll grow back. That's okay. So let's get in and get a look at kind of where everything is at. And yeah, we'll do kind of a maintenance episode to make sure everything is in pretty good shape before we keep expanding, before we keep building. Things are starting to settle into a good rhythm, I think. We're at 50,000. We've got pretty even demand across all three. Electricity-wise, we're in good shape for a little while. Water-wise, we've got lots of water availability, not as much sewage availability. So maybe what we could do is add a couple sewage treatment plants and then knock the overall budget down to bring that in line. So let's add at least one, if not two more sewage treatment plants. And I've buried these completely underwater. And let's see if those get kind of in line with one another here. They should get a little bit of a bump in the sewage treatment as soon as those become active. So it looks like two was too much. I could leave that on though, or we could turn one of these off, see if we get them in line, and then drop the budget just a little bit. Except our water availability just went way down. What's up with that? Where's my water intake? Did I put water way over here? Oh, they just lost power. Is my power that... Okay, so playing with the power budget. Let's throw that back up to 100. Trying to save money there. Back to water budget. Now we have electricity. So I could back the water budget down now. But really, is that saving us a lot of money? Probably not. Let's see what 85 looks like. It's in the yellow. We're really not saving a lot of money by doing this. It'd be nice if we could. Let's go 90 on water. Let's go 95 on water and power. Total auto budget mod does a pretty good job at keeping it just in the green. Yeah, 95. Okay, so 100 on electricity because we keep dipping into that yellow. All right, never mind. We won't play with budgets. We'll just make sure service coverage is good. And in fact, I don't want to forget, so... Forget that we touched the budget panel at all. Let's just look at service coverage. Electricity good. Water good. Garbage coverage. Processing is awesome. We're processing a ton more garbage than we're creating in a week. And it's really just a matter of, do we have coverage to get trucks out to the places that they need to get to? So we've got a dedicated recycling plant out here and here, because these are really kind of remote. We've got one for our industrial area. I feel like I don't need all these in this vicinity. We've got one up here for the university, and for whatever reason, the trucks aren't getting here to the stadium. Let's see if they're going to pick up the garbage right now. Turn left. Nope. Okay, maybe they're going to pick up the garbage here as they drive by and pick up the garbage here, and then maybe they'll turn. Maybe they're doing a route. No? Come on, turn right and get the garbage over here. Okay. So that should be handling garbage coverage down this way. I feel like we could turn some of those off. We've turned these plants off, 2 of these. So let's turn a couple of these off. Save us a little bit of money. Does it tell us the budget per week? I don't think it does. But turning all those off, we're still way in the green. And we've still got good coverage because we're spread out across the map with different recycling centers. We don't have recycling up here or up here. So maybe we could do that. Off towards the edge of the map, maybe? We're dropping students. We need to bring in more people into the city. We'll throw this out here for now. Do we have water? We do have water coverage out there. We've got power. They should be able to handle the garbage pickup for all this area. It's actually a little light up this way, but there's not a lot that they have to do, so hopefully that's okay for now. Before I forget, let's head out. Let's pop on over to the university and keep funding some academic works. What do we got? Is there something else? Is there only 2? We'll do a scientific study. Varsity sports. Let's back this budget down. Let's say about 1,000 on cheerleading. And what do we have? Do we have all the sports? I feel like we don't. I think we have 3. And I don't think we did track and field or aquatics. So if we have 3 teams, let's say a boys and a girls team, right? 2 coaches per, so 6, 12. We'll do budget for 12 staff. Is my math right there? Somebody check my math. Break out the scientific calculator. Let's do that. Save a little bit of money. That'll bump up our budget that we're making money a little bit. Now, I know I have 11 million in the bank. I don't need to worry about it too much, but I want to keep it on the positive. I want our town to be successful. Oh. Trees everywhere. So one of the things that we need to look at is definitely fire helicopter coverage. We'll get there in just a minute. Let's look at education. So we've got an elementary school over here. The capacity is just off the chart because of the Hadron Collider. It's the same thing for high school. University, we have coverage based on what we built here. That's it. So let's do a quick look around the map and see if we've got some really light areas. Like, this is not ideal, but I think it's okay. I think they'll come here. And it looks like they're educated, right? We've got all the education is all colored in here. We don't have anybody that's not elementary educated. That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for houses that are kind of not not lit up. These people all just moved in, so that's okay. And in fact, there's a lot of commercial space up here. The residential over here hasn't really filled in. People don't want to move out in the middle of nowhere, apparently. This has not been an appealing place to move in. We've got a couple houses that, of course, moved right next to one another. Out of curiosity, if we zone immediately next to another house, is that going to make it appealing for them to move in? Apparently nobody wants to move in over here on the edge of the map. Or they do. Never mind. I take it back. They seem to prefer moving in where other people are living. I think we're going to do a couple roads that snake through here, because this is way too open. But again, this is like detail for the edge of the map, so that when you're way over here, there's something happening in the background, not just, you know, trailing off into nothing. So that was a pretty bad fire over here, huh? Bulldoze that. High school wise, looking pretty good. And again, educated everywhere, which we like to see. What about up here? Did we do a high school up here too? Yeah, we did a high school and an elementary right across from one another. These people that just moved in may as well meet our residential demand. That's so much for that that backcountry road. Let's just do this. Let's start filling it in, since people want to move in over here. We can do that. And then university wise, how are our citizens on university education? Are people making the trip? If this is all lit up, that's a good sign that they're making the trip all the way over here for university. This is a relatively new neighborhood, and it's all university educated. So it looks like everybody's making the trip. That's good. We don't need to really worry about that coverage. We don't have many public libraries as far as I know, though. So we've got one here. We've got one in the downtown, don't we? Yeah, one over here. We could probably do a couple more of those. Where's the public library? There we go. So let's get a couple of these down, because we're obviously lacking here. Where do we have space? So we have a little bit of dead zone here where we're not overwriting anything. Let's do that. And that makes a reasonable amount of people happy. I'm not sure what that other wave of happiness spawned from. But let's see. Can we get another one down maybe here? And then maybe something over this way? If we can find a spot for it. So we're going to kill off some of our commercial zoning to do that. I can't get it there. Maybe we could move this. Can we move this inside? That would be awesome if we get that over there. So it'll let me do it right on that spot. Let's do that. Let's dezone that one little piece right there, and hopefully we can get the public library over here. So that doesn't really span a large area of coverage. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over on this side of the map. We've got one over here. Maybe we can get one in by the school? Where can we put this? Maybe right there. That might make sense, kind of next to the stadium. And then do we do one over here? Can we get one on this road? Could do that. Let's do that. Give people access to the libraries. Let them study and be that much more educated. Don't these provide a boost? They give a small bonus to education within the building radius. Considering education was so... Okay. Pause. Let's forget about education for right now. We're good on education. We've got public library. Nobody's using it. Everybody's educated. It doesn't even matter. It's more just a decorative thing. We're going to skip down to fire coverage. And let's look at what we've got, because we need to add, I think, more helicopter depots because of some of the forest fires that we're having. So we've got a large station down here in the downtown. Another large station there. Large station there. Is that a helicopter depot? That one's a helicopter depot. So... Station... So I feel like we should have a helicopter depot somewhere over here. Let's keep it paused. Let's go into roads. Let's do a little service area off of the... Here, we'll curve it off into the woods, into the dead zone between the two areas. So we'll curve a little bit like that so that we can then go straight. So let's do that. We'll move fire and police to the center of the center of the roundabout. Now I think for whatever reason they're gonna, like, I think police, if they leave this station, are gonna turn right and go all the way down to the under road to turn around. So let's give them a little spot to turn around, a little service road almost. Like that. Because I think that becomes the shorter route for them to U-turn and hit back around. But up here, let's go in and do another helicopter depot. We need the visibility of the tree fire, the fire watch towers over here. Do another one over there. May as well do one out on the tip of this island. And then let's do one there. We won't worry about where the people aren't just yet. We'll do something like that. Let's hit play. Let's get one more, at least one more helicopter depot in. So we've got a helicopter depot that can kind of support over here. They do need to come down to water to pick it up. Speaking of water. Now, do we have garbage coverage over here? Because we could certainly move that. We'll throw a recycling plant over here next to this. Just for the heck of it. And we're definitely having some problems up here. So maybe we do... Back to helicopter depots. Yeah, why is the fire coverage so light up in this neighborhood, huh? I mean, they'll get there. I think that's okay. Do we have a fire over here? We have garbage over here. It's literally right next to the fire station. It's across the street from the fire station. Come on, boys. What's going on over here? Why do we have garbage problems all of a sudden? I turned off too many of those plants. I guess we're processing fine, but we're not picking it up good, so... Turn those on. We'll bulldoze this one. 4 here should be sufficient. Do we want to give them a route to get on there? We've got a recycle plant right there. I thought it would be enough for this. I'm getting a little haphazard with my services, but having more is better than not enough. Happiness-wise, commercial, I always have very little, or not very little, but lower commercial happiness than anything else. So we might need to spam some parks out there. That always helps. You can see that we've got these massive pockets that are just kind of missing any kind of parks and plazas, uniques, leisures, things like that. So let's see here. Let's get a couple dog parks. Those are small and effective at providing happiness to an area with low upkeep. So let's get right in here. See what that does. Well, we'll try and make everybody kind of greenish, so that there's a little bit of overlap here and there. Try and overwrite as few houses as possible, and we'll spam some dog parks around the area. Let's see, how far away are we on that one? Maybe we can put one on this corner. I don't want to move a ton of people out, but I'd like to make the people that are there just a little bit happier. And then we'll do one over here. It looks like we can squeeze them in right there without overwriting anybody. That's perfect. And now you can see kind of everybody's not top tier happy, but they're affected by those parks, which helps us a little bit. Let's do another one over here. It'd be awesome if we could get it right there, but we can't. So, again, I'm spamming the dog parks around here. One of the reasons why it's fairly cheap to put in and very low upkeep. If we did something just to change it up, like a small park, this is more expensive and more upkeep. Less upkeep, but more expensive to put in the first place. So we'll put one there. We could also like turn these areas into parks. So if we did park area tool, and we could do like a little park like in this dead zone here in this neighborhood. So we'll just call all that a park. We'll come into parks, city park, small main gate, and we'll just put it. Is there anywhere we can put it that we're not overwriting people? I don't think so. So let's do a small main gate right there. Do I have to bulldoze? Oh, I didn't have to bulldoze. I had to find a spot that wasn't that was able to zone on the. It should let. Okay, there we go. It'll let me do one right there. We'll do it in the middle of those two houses. Let's de-zone because I bet there's yeah. So we'll de-zone that. And where can we get a couple? So we can do a side gate maybe right there. Maybe over here. If it'll let me, I don't think it'll let me zone there, or it won't let me build the park gate there, right? That was the problem. So now we have to do the small side gates. Let's see. Can we trick this out with move it maybe? If we flatten that out just a little bit. Nope. If we flatten it out just a little bit more. There we go. It'll let me do that. And it shouldn't affect the zoning of those other properties. And then can we go right there? Perfect. So this becomes a little park. Let's freeform some paths through here. Just give people a way to cut through. We'll do a little plaza in here in the middle. Maybe a cafe and some restrooms. And then can we squeeze? Of course not. Throw some gazebos on there. Can we get a climbing frame in for the kids? We sure can. Maybe even a trampoline park? Okay. So we basically made that into one giant park and filled in some of that dead zone, right? So that's a great way to improve the parks and plaza and leisure activities for an area and just generally make them happier, right? So we're health. Where was that? Where are parks and plazas and how did I get off on this tangent? How did I get this far down the list? Squirrel. I don't even know where to check it out now. So parks. So this area is very happy now because we've basically turned that into a giant park. Let's go back to our dog parks and spam a couple more of those around. Because again, they don't take up a ton of room and they have a pretty nice area of effective happiness. So everyone's happy down there. Let's get another one in right there. Perfect. There and there. Oh, I love it. And for this last little part here, let's do... We'll do a playground just to switch things up a little bit. Moving a lot of people out for that one. Park with trees. That's too big. Let's get another dog park in. Because we don't have to move out a ton of people to do that. But now we've got a much better coverage of happiness and parks spread out all over. This is the country club. Every single one of those courses is a park. So they're very happy over here. I should move like one person in over there just so that effect spreads to somebody. Pretty good. We could get one in here. This is all commercial up here. So let's start spreading some other things around, like the plazas. Plaza with trees, and what is this one? Plaza with picnic tables. One more up here. We don't have to have everybody in the blue, but if there's areas that are absolutely just missing out on parks and leisure, we want to provide a little coverage. We just, you know, I'm spamming these around right now. What we're going to do eventually towards the end of the build is kind of look at each little area as its own autonomous unit and then kind of balance it out a little bit better. I might have too many parks in a little neighborhood like this, or maybe we want to have one kind of on either end, you know? So we'll either centralize one or put one on either end and kind of take it piece by piece, little neighborhood by little neighborhood, and just do some detail work and fine tune and balance it. But for right now, I just want to spam some stuff out there and make sure that we've got good coverage. Back into parks and plazas, I do want to do a couple things here. So where it's very dry right now is the industrial areas. So let's make them a little happy and give them, let's see, how about picnic tables? How does that fit sideways on the block? It fits okay. We'll kind of center it. We'll do one down of center. And that actually makes people happy on both sides of the block. So if we're going to give the industrial workers a place to sit and enjoy their lunches, get out of the factories for a little while. Hopefully make everybody happy over here. Not bad, pretty good. We'll do one over here for these this block, and that should be sufficient. That should make everybody really happy, except for if anyone was actually in those buildings that burned down. That would not be very happy. So, happiness. Everybody's pretty good. I would expect that commercial happiness to climb up now that we've got more parks and plazas and things around. Healthcare. 68, 6 citizens. Cemetery usage is getting up there. In fact, I thought I saw, yeah, I did. I saw at least one cemetery when we were flying around that was full. So, bulldoze it. Drop a new one in. Let it play. See what that does. Yeah, that knocked our cemetery usage down 10%. That's great. Whoa! Did anybody see that happening in the background and I just didn't notice that entire patch of trees burned down this episode? Whoops. I did not see this happening. If you did, props to you. I totally missed that happening. We'll see if I can catch that in the edit. And there's no way I could. How did I miss that? Oh, man. So much for those fire helicopter depots we dropped in this episode, huh? All right, let's work our way through a couple more things. Levels-wise, everything's leveling up pretty well. Pollution-wise, we're great. Traffic-wise, 72%. And I've said it before, we know where the traffic is. We're actually doing really well over here. The turbine's busy. The industrial interchange is busy. And this street, you know, is a continuing problem. That's where most of our traffic is, or I should say that's where all of our traffic is on this map. Interchange is a little bit busy, but this is fixable. It's not even that broken, right? It's not terrible, but there's a couple little intersections here that we could work on and improve. Oh, I should mention, I did provide a quick little metro loop that hooks into 2 lines. So it hooks into, I think, the green line here, the yellow line here, and it stops at the zoo and the amusement park, which I haven't renamed yet. If you've got ideas, let me know in the comments down below. So we won't really dive. Traffic's going to be its own multi-part episode, so we won't worry about that right now. Noise pollution kind of happening where the traffic is and the airports. But I've done, I think, a pretty good job at, you can kind of see where the residential pockets are in behind the commercial strips and the main avenues that deliver the traffic. So you come off the highway, main avenue delivering traffic through the areas. That's where all our commercial pockets are. And then the residential pockets are relatively noise pollution free for the most part. The downtown area is a little tough, but you can see we've got all these pockets of residents, and this is office over here that's on fire. How is our fire coverage down here? Second guessing myself now. A little bit light. Maybe it's time for a new station down here. Firehouse. Space area occupied? Okay, how about one across the street? Man. The downside of having so many trees. So we've worked our way through about half the list. Let's look at crime, and then we'll do a quick recap of transport and call it a day. And the bottom half is a lot of natural disasters and stuff doesn't apply as much, but we'll pick that up some point next week. Crime rate, very low. Good coverage. We've got police helicopters. This continues to be a problem. Something's up with these buildings. This is the main campus building, and it had a garbage problem forever. Now it has a crime problem. Notice it's the only building on the map that's in red. And I've seen that happen before. Like, for whatever reason, services have trouble getting to this building. Even though it's sitting on a road, they don't provide coverage to the university building for some reason. They did pick up the garbage, I think, at the stadium finally, which is nice. But let's do a quick transport review. So the only thing that we're doing, we've got some airplanes coming in, mostly tourists. But the only thing that I've done so far is the metro lines. And let me see here. I've got 2 green lines, so let's see if we can figure out where everything is. I started with the red, orange, yellow, green, doing the Roy G. Biv. So let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. Metro line 1 is the red line, and that runs from our downtown area all the way up to our commercial and kind of stops there. The orange line takes traffic from the downtown through here to the outskirts, and this is kind of a hub, right? So this multiple lines meet here. I didn't highlight, but pink line takes people off to the university area from there, so you can get from red to uni. From here you can get red to orange, orange to yellow, yellow to green, right? All the stations kind of connect one of the other lines. So let's go back in there. So red, orange, yellow line. Red, orange, yellow, green. So which green line is this? Did we go through another academic year already? So we're up students, we're up works, we're up campus attractiveness. Okay. Before I forget, we may as well keep just cranking out the academic works. We've got the money for it, so we'll come back into metro views in just a second here. Academic works, dissertation. I got to build the museums at some point. So yeah, back into this real quick. So because people always ask me all the time, how many people are riding the metro, right? They see me create the metros, but then they don't really do it. I don't really dive into the detail of like who's using what. So so metro line 1, 2, 3. This must be our green line. That's covering, yeah. Covering this part of the residential area. It comes through, connects to the yellow line. And then that actually connects into the industrial area. So that delivers traffic all the way up to the industrial area. And to university. Wow, that's a long line. Let me see if that actually is all one line. I don't know that it is. So metro line 4. Okay, no, it stops right here. That's metro line 4. I really should name these, but at least color coding them helps a bit. So uni green is right there. So red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. I want it to be more blue. There we go. I wish you could reorder them or sort them by name. Oh, you can sort them by name? Are you kidding me? Okay. So let's just call these. Let's just number these lines for now because it's going to be easier. So 4 or 5. Sort by name. Nice. Things learn something new every day. So metro line 7 is another green line because I think that's the default line. Okay, so this is the loop that I just built. So it goes from this station in the Strawberry District, loops around to the amusement park and the zoo, and then connects back into the green line before it loops back around. So it gives people options for transferring from yellow and green to the purple line. And then what's the last one we didn't sort yet? What's the university line here? Oh, this is the one that goes from commercial up to the university. So we'll restart our color scheme. No, yeah, because that was orange. That should be distinguishable enough, I would think. Where's that not? That was red. Okay, let's change that. Do kind of what, a cyan? So that's a little different. We'll name them at some point, but that's just a nice, easy way to change the color coding a little bit. Have them be different colors that you can easily kind of pick out and jump to what line. It also makes them really easy to understand kind of what's happening when you're crisscrossing multiple stations like this. So traffic-wise, let's see where people are moving, right? So if we sort based on passengers, the red line, red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, green, orange. Look at that. That's responsible for so much of our traffic. So let's look at it in those order. Red, yellow, green, orange. So the red line, and this is just for people's edification, right? Because they wonder, like, how do I set up these metro routes? Sometimes you just have to set them up and see where people are actually using them. And in this case, the bulk of the traffic that we're seeing is this line that starts in the downtown, follows this main road where we saw all this traffic. This is where all the traffic is, right? This is where all the cars are. This is where all the people want to be too. So if we didn't have this line here, there would be even more traffic, I'm sure. But it connects all the way down here into the commercial area. So commercial and office. This is all residential for the most part with a little commercial on the strip. And then this is a mixture of commercial and residential in the downtown area. So you want to deliver people from one zone to another, right? They go from home to work, whether that's in commercial, industry, or office. So you don't want it just, you know, running the length of a residential. You want it going through different zones. And the red line is by far our most successful right now in terms of moving people around the map. Yellow, green, orange. So yellow is an interesting one because this is almost doing the same thing, but it's delivering people through here, which is mostly residential, and delivering them to the red line. So this is picking up a lot of people to get them to the red line that they can then transfer and get anywhere over here. Next up was what? The green and then orange. So the green line here is a long one. This one picks up all these people in residential. It does tie in. Does it tie into the yellow line? It ties into the yellow line here. It connects through all this residential and then it runs to the industrial area. So again, people are using this to get to work, to then get back home to residential. And this also ties in, this yellow and green line ties in to the purple line, yellow here, green here, so that people can get to the amusement park and the zoo and then hop on other lines. So we're moving a fair amount of people around. The last one that's moving close to 1,000, more than double the next round. The next closest line is the orange. And again, this is doing a very similar thing. It's picking people up along residential, mostly commercial on this strip, and delivering them to the downtown area, which then they can get to the most popular line, which is the red line. Do I need to disable fire spread? This was a bad episode for fires, I feel like. I still don't know how I missed this one over here. I'll probably laugh at some point in the edit if I see it in the background and didn't notice it. But we will see. So yeah, it was kind of a long episode today. But you've got to do that maintenance every once in a while. You've got to kind of see what's happening with your town. And now we're prepared for growth. So now we can go back and finish some of those projects and keep building up some of those zones. Those lunch plazas look fantastic in the industrial area, might I say. But that sets the table for us to really hit the ground running next week and do some projects, chip off some areas on the map, work on some traffic here and there. You know, traffic, again, isn't that bad, but it is one problem that we're going to really focus on in an episode, for an episode or two in the next couple weeks. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new and consider hitting the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Brand new videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord if you want to get involved in the discussion. And have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Until the next one, This is Move the Mouse, signing off.